Hey, Pure Soul members, welcome to the month of April. This month's tarot card draw is the Eight of Cups. And for this card, I want to give you the human and spiritual translations, as I often do for the Pure Soul members. But this month, I want to add something a little bit special. This month, I want to add a combined translation, which means the human and spiritual perspective. This is often referencing the human being who is embarking on a new spiritual journey. So let's start with the human perspective. From the human perspective, the Eight of Cups knows that you're tired. It knows that you need a break. Are you tired of the rat race? Are you ready to leave your goals behind because you're feeling kind of like tapped out and tired or overwhelmed with everything? The Eight of Cups suggests that we do, in fact, need a break. We've been working really hard, and the eight golden cups that are in this card reminds us of everything that we have accomplished up until this point. And it also explains that we have learned valuable life lessons along the way. The Eight of Cups says that we may be getting tired of everything, but think of this. How close are you to accomplishing those goals that you have set out for yourself? Maybe you've been working on a special project, or maybe you completed most of your to do list, or maybe you have been working really hard at home or at work, but you're so close. And are you really sure that you want to bail out now? Consider the consequences of not going that extra mile. How will you feel if you stop now? What regrets might you have later on? How will giving up now affect your accomplishments later? And who else might be affected if you don't push through and accomplish the last part that you're working on? So, let me kind of give you a little example of that. I've been working on the Empathy and Me workshop for a really long time, and I'm really, really close to finishing it. But I'm tapped out, you guys. Between writing the entire workshop and rewriting it three times, and then doing the PowerPoint presentation, oh my God, the PowerPoint took me forever too because I was learning as I was going. But I finished it and then I learned more. And so I redid it. And I can tell you that I really do need a break. But I still have to do the worksheets, work on the timings for the presentation, record it, edit it, modify my website to have an online workshop, and then post it and then market it. And oh my God, I'm so close. But some days I just stare mindlessly at the computer and I really don't even accomplish anything at all because by the end of the day, sometimes I feel like I can't even think. But when I review with the Eight of Cups and I ask myself the same questions I would ask you, what are the consequences of not going the extra mile to finish this project or this effort or this goal? And how will I feel if I give up now? And what regrets might I have later on? So how will giving up now affect my accomplishments later and my ability to succeed at the goals that I want to in the future? And who else may be affected if I don't push through and accomplish the last few things I need to complete? So I'm not going to go through all of my responses with you, obviously, but I will tell you the answer to the last question. Who else might be affected if I don't push through and accomplish this? My response was everyone. I struggled with empathy for the first 28 years of my life, but during my awakening, and as a result of a 54-day rosary novena that I did to the Blessed Mother, I literally feel like I know everything about empathy and that I can teach people how to deal with that. And everybody needs this information, in my opinion, especially the people that have empathy as their main soul job. But aside from that, we are spirits living in a human body. So inevitably, we are all empaths at some level because we're all so connected. So I'll push through and hold myself accountable and do my best to finish it. If you see it online in a couple weeks, then you know I did it. What goals are you currently working on? And are you tapping out? Are you feeling tired or overwhelmed? And does it seem like it's just too much to do most days? The Eight of Cups is asking you to consider the consequences of stepping away right now and really review that and think about that. And stick to it. Don't walk away. Finish it. You can do it. And we can all do it together. But anyway, now for the spiritual perspective. So, from a spiritual perspective, When I prayed about this card, the Bible verse that popped into my head was Luke 15, verses 3 through 6. And it says, "And he spoke this parable unto them, saying, What man of you, having 100 sheep, if he loses one of them, will he not leave the 99 in the wilderness and go after that which is lost until he finds it? And when he has found it, he lays it on his shoulders, rejoicing. And when he comes home, he calls together his friends and neighbors, saying unto them, Rejoice with me, for I have found my sheep which was lost." From a spiritual perspective, I think the Eight of Cups is telling us to go find the lost one, go find the lonely one, the sad one, the poor one, the humble one, the scared one, or the sick one. The Eight of Cups tells us that there is someone out there that is close to us that may fit one of these categories. So go find them. Don't worry about yourself and your riches or even what you have built and constructed for yourself. Be that source of comfort for them, the lost, the lonely, the sad, poor, humble, scared, and sick. Be the source and go find them now. From a combined perspective, for a human who is embarking on their spiritual journey, maybe you've had a recent awakening or a recent epiphany. For you, the Eight of Cups may have a little bit of a kind of like a melancholy feel to it. We spend roughly the first 28 years of our lives building a life. We decide if we're getting married, if we're having children, if we're focusing on our careers. We decide what kind of car we like to drive. We create credit, we schedule days to see friends, have parties and barbecues. We try a lot of hobbies and we find our favorite ones. And then we sit down and we say, Yes, I have found a life. But then spirit nudges you to awaken, and you do. And maybe you have a huge spiritual awakening, or maybe it's just a simple epiphany that moves you toward a spiritual journey, toward a kind of discovery of oneself. When this happens, you're sort of split in two: the you before the awakening or the epiphany, and the you after the awakening or the epiphany. And this is really beautiful, but sometimes it's really difficult as well, because everything you have created in your life now, after the awakening or after the epiphany, it holds a little bit of a different value in your heart. You'll feel quiet inside yourself for a little while as you get to know your soul in a way that you never have before. You may notice in the conditioned human self, the life you created doesn't seem as fulfilling or as important in some way, you know? So now maybe it's not so important to have 100 friends. It's important to have a really few good friends. Maybe you no longer like some of the hobbies you're used to really enjoy, and you find yourself leaving them behind. Or maybe the fancy apartment you're living in isn't so important because you find that you really love the sunshine. So you need a place that has big windows instead of a basement gym. You get my point. The Eight of Cups is encouraging you to take that spiritual journey because, well, because it will be the most authentic journey of your life, even if you have to leave some things behind. Don't despair, though. Inner bliss is way better than outer ignorance. So soon you will see that there is nothing more important and fulfilling than the divine in you. And don't worry, because all the people and the things and the hobbies that you do truly love will be there for you in the morning.